Chapter 17 1359 Base on the familiar wilderness, Lu Sheng's figure quietly appeared. A burly zombie immediately noticed Lu Sheng's appearance, and quickly rushed towards him with a low growl. Without any hesitation, Lu Sheng rushed forward quickly. Block, punch. In just 2 strokes, Lu Sheng wrung the neck of the burly zombie in unrecognizable clothes in front of him. A black line of smoke appeared and quickly merged into Lu Sheng's body. Martial arts practitioner. Lu Sheng breathed out lightly after absorbing the zombie's memory. My strength has indeed increased. The fight just now gave Lu Sheng a more intuitive understanding of his current strength. He had encountered this kind of burly zombie more than once before. This is a new type of fighting zombie that is different from the one-piece suit zombie, and its strength is erratic. Some are weaker than zombies in gray one-piece suits, while others are stronger than zombies in blue one-piece suits. The fighting power of this kind of zombie can only be barely distinguished by observing the opponent's size. The one that Lu Sheng just dealt with is not weak. It can even be said that it is the strongest he has ever encountered, both in terms of strength and speed. It is close to twice that of ordinary blue one-piece suit zombies. The combat power is estimated to have reached the standard of a first-class official warrior. But even so, he still couldn't survive 2 moves under Lu Sheng's hands. After the breakthrough, the boxing technique is very strong, which gives me a sense of calmness that can be easily manipulated. Against opponents whose skills are weaker than mine, it is almost like an adult beating a child. There was a bit of joy in Lu Sheng's eyes. After dealing with this zombie, Lu Sheng continued to move forward. He has been walking on the gray mist wilderness for an unknown amount of time, and according to his estimation, he should be very close to the number 1359 base in the memories of these zombies. According to the memory of the zombies before their death, base 1359 should have been destroyed in a black mist and an almost endless wave of alien beasts. It's strange that I haven't encountered a single alien beast for so long. Could it be that all the alien beasts lived in the ruins of the base? Or in other words, they withdrew after destroying the base? Lu Sheng is unknown. Although the strength of martial arts has improved rapidly, the dreamland is still a dangerous and unknown field for him. So far, Lu Sheng has never died in a dream, and he doesn't know what the consequences of dying in a dream will be. He doesn't want to try. Along the way, Lu Sheng killed several more zombies. The martial arts memories obtained from these zombies quickly filled his gaps in legwork, palm technique, footwork, etc., constantly approaching the bottleneck. At the same time, the boxing attainments that have reached a new level continue to climb slowly but firmly to a higher level. Just as Lu Sheng punched a zombie's head away and was absorbing memories, his eyes suddenly froze. Lu Sheng saw the direction directly in front of him. The gray mist dispersed like flowing water, and then the outline of a dilapidated and magnificent building slowly appeared in his field of vision. Finally reached. The legendary base 1359. Lu Sheng's heart was extraordinarily calm, and he was also more careful. Sometimes, the unknown also represents danger. What's more, Lu Sheng has witnessed countless times in his memory that base 1359 was submerged in the overwhelming tide of alien beasts. That feeling of despair and depression always weighed heavily on his heart like a boulder. Lu Sheng is fast but light on his feet. The closer to the giant city, the more zombies wandering in the gray mist, and as the number increased, the strength of these zombies also continued to increase. Lu Sheng already felt the strong and dangerous atmosphere that he had not seen for a long time from several zombies. Fortunately, the perception of these zombies has not improved much due to the improvement of individual strength. As long as he is careful enough, he will not attract their attention. Wang Shan ran to death. Lu Sheng ran for more than half an hour before gradually approaching the giant city. This is still the state of his running in a hurry. It is conceivable how big the giant city is. Finally, Lu Sheng came to the foot of the giant city. He hid under a ruined wall and looked up at the city in front of him. This majestic city was truly displayed in front of him. It is difficult to describe how big this city is. Lu Sheng needed to raise his neck to an angle close to the limit, so that he could barely see the top of the city wall. The whole city is surrounded by towering walls. This reminds Lu Sheng of an anime in his previous life where he hid in a huge siege against the evil titan. Compared with that anime, the city wall in front of me is undoubtedly much higher. It's hard to imagine that there is any power in this world that can tear apart such an impenetrable line of defense. But what Lu Sheng saw. But there are huge, shocking tear marks. From the outside, the whole city looks like a huge broken bowl full of gaps. The ruined wall that Lu Sheng is leaning on now is just an insignificant fragment knocked off the giant bowl. Thinking about the desperate scenes he saw in his memory, Lu Sheng's expression became serious. Perhaps the doomsday scenes he has seen in his memory are not even 1/10,000th of the real situation. Height determines field of view. Those zombies who could be easily killed by him, the desperation they could see during their lifetime was undoubtedly just the edge of the real horror. Base 1359, that is to say, there are at least 1,000 more bases like this. So, where are the remaining bases, and are they still intact? What has happened to the people in this world, and are there any survivors alive? Many doubts arose in Lu Sheng's heart. About the origin of this world, about the origin of his dream, about the mysterious body refining technique and breathing method he is practicing now. He walked towards the giant city. He felt that the truth was waiting for him ahead. Chapter 18. A fallen civilization. Lu Sheng didn't see where the gate of the city wall was, so he found a huge gap that was torn from the top of the wall all the way to the bottom, and approached carefully. Just 10 meters away from him, there were several terrifying zombies wandering around. As long as Lu Sheng gets a little closer to them, he will feel a huge sense of horror that his scalp tingles. Right now, he feels like he just got out of Novice Village's trumpet and wandered around the map of high-level monsters. Any mob around him has the ability to instantly kill him. The closer you get to the base, the stronger the zombies will be. It's hard to imagine what kind of martial arts power these zombies, who gave me a huge sense of threat, were before they were alive. Lu Sheng sighed in his heart. No consciousness, no perception, only a bit of fighting instinct left in the body to drive. Such a state can bring him such a strong sense of danger. These zombies were definitely unimaginable masters before they were alive. Lu Sheng carefully kept a distance from each zombie. After repeated experiments, he found that the safe distance between him and the zombies was about 10 meters. As long as you don't get close to the zombies for 10 meters, you won't be discovered and attract hatred. Lu Sheng approached the gap he saw little by little, carefully avoiding the zombies wandering around. I couldn't hide, so I picked up a stone from the ground and threw it into the distance to attract the attention of the zombies. In this way, he successfully reached the foot of the target wall without any risk. Although the gap was big, it was still 7 or 8 meters high. Fortunately, Lu Sheng already possessed the strength of a first-level warrior, and his figure was strong. With the help of the depressions and gaps in the wall, he could easily climb onto the gap. I'm afraid the thickness of this city wall is more than 20 meters thick, and it was beaten like this. Lu Sheng walked in through the gap, secretly speechless. Walking all the way to the inside of the wall, the scene of the city was presented in front of Lu Sheng. All kinds of high-rise buildings, streets, and styles are very different from the real world where Lu Sheng lives. There are many means of transportation that Lu Sheng doesn't recognize scattered on the street. Although most of these have been destroyed and dilapidated now. But above the ruins shrouded in gray mist, Lu Sheng can still imagine how prosperous the city once was. The level of technological development should far exceed the world I am in now, and also surpass the previous life. Lu Sheng jumped off the city wall and landed on a vehicle that looked like a rowboat, with smooth lines and a sense of technology. It should be a world with a high degree of civilization, whether it is a technological civilization or a martial arts civilization. No wonder the body refining technique and breathing method I got from memory before are so powerful. One must know that in the world Lu Sheng lives in now, martial arts have only been developed for less than 300 years. Many aspects are in the groping stage. It was also mentioned in history books that when martial arts first emerged, the most powerful martial arts masters in the world were only at the 5th level. But now, human beings already have many 7th-level masters, 8th-level grandmasters, and even 9th-level martial arts saints. Such a powerful civilization is still falling under the claws of alien beasts. What about us? Sheng was suddenly a little worried. In reality, his world is also fighting against the invasion of alien beasts. Even though martial arts experts among human beings continue to emerge, the living space of the entire human being is still being compressed and reduced. This is broadcast on the TV news every day. No matter what, it is a great opportunity for me to come here. This world has failed, my world may not fail. I can still absorb nutrients from this civilization, and when I become stronger in the future, I may be able to spread the advanced martial arts knowledge here. Sheng's eyes became firm again, and at the same time, there was a heavy responsibility on his shoulders. This piece of devastated civilization ruins brought him too much shock and impact, and his mentality has also undergone some changes. There are a lot of zombies inside the city walls, but their strength is generally relatively weak, and it is rare to see a few advanced monsters. This is easy to explain. The city wall protects the vulnerable civilians, and those who are powerful naturally gather on the front line of the battlefield. Sheng's exploration progressed a lot faster. He walked into a tall building. This is an ordinary residential building. Sheng randomly found a house and walked in, but there was no one in the house. The house is divided into several small rooms, but the overall space is very small. There is a table in the middle of the living room, and some tableware and tableware are scattered on the table. Sheng imagined that the family was eating at that time, and then the end suddenly came. Sheng's mood was inexplicably depressed. There were no zombies in the house. Sheng speculated that under the terrifying black mist, ordinary people might not even have the qualifications to transform into zombies. It is also possible that it once became a zombie, and after a long period of time, it decayed because it was too weak. Sheng walked into a room and found something like a photo frame on the bedside table in the room, but there was no photo inside. Sheng speculates that this may be something like an electronic photo album. After the energy is exhausted, the photos inside will naturally disappear. One of the remaining rooms should be the children's room. There is a small single bed in the corner of the room, as well as a bookcase and a desk. Sheng tried to find some items that could record information. But the civilization of this world is too developed, and books have long been completely freed from the shackles of paper, so he got nothing. Finally, Sheng found a palm-sized disc on the desk, which was lead gray in color and less than half a centimeter thick. There were traces of writing on it. Tian Heng Technology. Sheng wiped off the dust on the disc, and made out a few small characters engraved on the bottom of the disc. After reading these words, Sheng was shocked. He actually knew these words? The characters used by this fallen civilization are exactly the same as those used in the real world.